Conqueror's Haki is overrated. First, let me clarify what I mean by this statement. Essentially, the power of advanced Conqueror's Haki in the community is viewed in a very screwed way. This isn't the majority of people, but there is certain fan bases out there that really take this ability to a next level. By no means am I trying to imply that advanced Conqueror's Haki isn't portrayed to be the best ability in the series right now, but there's a portion of people who take it a step further for the sake of agenda and say that Conqueror's Haki is the end all be all and you must have this ability to be considered stronger than those who have it. I already know how this is gonna go.
Guys, he's a Sanji fan! He thinks Conqueror's Haki's overrated! Of course! He's just mad because Lanji doesn't have it! Lanji! Haha! Cove! I'm typing Cove right now! He's COVID! I'm technically superior. Kaido-san Haki transcends all. Roger only used Haki and became Pirate King. Shanks is the modern day Roger and he's so strong his Haki is better than everyone. He's top 1.
Shut the fuck up, boy. I don't give a fuck. How many times have you heard the saying, advanced Conqueror's Haki users are stronger than everyone? It's funny because the people who say this are usually old gen meat writers or Zoro stans because Zoro has the ability. Let's get down to business. Let's get serious. Obviously, the term Haki can transcend all is the root problem of this. In the fight between Luffy and Kaido, Kaido mentions that Haki can transcend all and that Roger was able to become what he is due to his Haki power. But the fact that he quoted Roger is very important here. This shows that Kaido is basing this sentence off his own experience within the previous generation that he was a part of. Kaido said to Luffy, abilities alone cannot conquer the world, which is why Roger didn't have fruit powers but relied on Haki. To become Pirate King, I agree that you can't just have strong abilities, but top tier Haki is something that's extremely needed to become Pirate King and it's kind of like a necessity. And that's why I also think it's foreshadowing on how characters like Blackbeard will get defeated. He's trying to conquer the world due to gaining multiple abilities. And in my opinion, when he fights Luffy, it will come down to a battle mainly focused on Haki from Luffy's end, since Blackbeard has the power to negate Devil Fruits, and that's how Luffy will overcome Blackbeard and become the king of the pirates. Essentially, conquer the world just like Kaido said, with the power of Haki. But it's very important that you guys understand the context in which Kaido was saying this. He's referring to people conquering the world, in this context becoming the king of the pirates, since he mentioned how Roger conquered the world. So it makes sense from Kaido's perspective that you have to be a Haki demon to become Pirate King, and that's how he's seen Roger do it. But Luffy will obviously be a Haki demon because he already is. He has advanced stages of everything. But Kaido saying Roger conquered the world with strictly his Haki doesn't mean the new generation need to do the same. It does not mean you need insane Haki, or in this case advanced Conqueror's Haki, to be considered one of the strongest. A big theme in One Piece that's been reiterated to us time and time again that this new generation will surpass the previous one. The main people this is referring to in terms of pirates are obviously the supernova slash the worst generation. Not gonna lie to you, 70% of these people are ass, but like hey, let's analyze them real quick from what we currently know. And I don't remember these guys' Devil Fruit names, sorry, I'm gonna improvise. Apu is part of the worst generation, has the sound Devil Fruit which he seemingly gets carried by. We've seen it in full display on Onigashima. Age has his castle Devil Fruits which she also gets carried by as well. Bonnie has her age modification, which is the only thing she pretty much uses from what we know. X-Drake has his T-Rex Devil Fruit. Killer has a Devil Fruit too. That's fucked up, I know, I'm sorry. Basil Hawkins lets his Devil Fruit literally run his life. Aruj has a Devil Fruit that allows it to take damage and converts it into physical strength. Kin and Law both have tremendously good Devil Fruits. Okay, Law has a tremendously good Devil Fruit, and in the latest arc, we see them take down a Yonko with that power only, and they both gained a 3 billion berry bounty. Blackbeard somehow has 2 Devil Fruits and could potentially get another one. Luffy, of course, the MC, has the most broken one of them all. The old gen consisted of a ton of legends that mainly only fought with Haki. Like I mentioned, the greatest pirate ever was only a Haki user. The greatest marine ever was only a Haki user. So this means the strongest people should only be Haki users or predominantly Haki users, right? No. This leads people to believe that's how this new generation in One Piece strength should be gauged, by strictly determining if they have insanely great Haki to be considered some of the strongest or even stronger than those who possess it. But like I showed you guys, the Supernova and the Pirates that would surpass the previous generation will be doing that very differently. They will also heavily rely on abilities, and they will use them to overcome every generation prior. Blackbeard has potential to become greater than Rock's Zebek and will challenge Luffy over the One Piece. How will he do this? What it looks like with the abilities he spent the whole series chasing after, and will inevitably become one of the strongest to ever exist in One Piece. Luffy, for crying out loud, has the most OP devil fruit in all existence. Luffy's a bad example because he will become the strongest and probably have the best Haki to ever exist in One Piece, but he's becoming the strongest character ever by also having the most broken devil fruit you could possibly have, becoming Pirate King with an ability almost as important as Haki in terms of Luffy's strength, the Sun God Nika. Let's get back to the phrase advanced Conquerors Haki users is stronger than people who don't use the ability. I don't know how people spun that to say if you don't have advanced Conquerors Haki, you are inferior. First of all, I want to remind you guys that Kaido's perspective is based on how his generation fought. It's evident that we highlight Kaido said it can transcend all. This tells us it's most definitely dependent on the user. Can their Conquerors Haki be so great that it can be stronger than everyone and every ability they possess? I think instead of telling people Haki transcends all and cope, the question you should ask those people is, why does this specific character's Haki transcend all? What have they done or shown or been portrayed to be to make you believe that? It's true that this ability does give you an edge, since you have to be considered the handful of the very strongest to use it, and that the greatest fighters we've seen in the past used it as well. But it all depends on the characters that you compare them to. For example, it's safe to use the argument advanced Conquerors Haki being the reason why those characters are stronger than most commanders in One Piece, since the ability puts you in a different category than the rest, and most commanders aren't relevant and have performed high level feats or have any narrative purpose. But the opposite also applies to someone like Yamato. She has the ability but has no relevance in One Piece. She's probably going to stay stagnant in terms of strength, but when it comes to the upper echelon commanders and top tiers, this cannot be applied. It all depends on the feats, abilities, and the role they play in One Piece. Let's start off with feats. The characters are simply performing strength feats on stronger opponents than advanced Conquerors Haki users. They should be considered stronger, since you still need to prove why you are stronger with Conquerors Haki. Just having the ability does not give you the pass, or showcasing the ability does not mean you're stronger. Secondly, abilities. Some abilities in One Piece are broken as hell. For example, Whitebeard's Devil Fruit had the power to destroy the world. Akainu's Devil Fruit is said to be the most offensive Devil Fruit power in all of One Piece. Law has some insane hacks, literally disassembles your body, and literally can destroy all your organs. Just having advanced Conquerors Haki doesn't make you the stronger fighter when characters can still have other broken abilities. And lastly, their role in the series / portrayal. There will be broken characters in One Piece that might not necessarily have advanced Conquerors Haki. This also ties into feats a little bit, but the feats these guys perform will be greater than some advanced Conquerors Haki users, because they essentially have a role to fulfill and have to be a certain level of strength. Blackbeard, who might not have Conquerors Haki, or if he does, he might not have it to a high level, will be able to challenge a Luffy near his peak. Sanji, who might not have Conquerors Haki as well, who's one of the wings of the Pirate King, will go down stronger than some of the advanced Conquerors Haki users at the end of One Piece. For example, characters like Yamato, and for example, characters like Big Mom, based off his feats, because he's the wings of the Pirate King and he's a character who has to help Luffy take down some of the strongest adversaries that stand in Luffy's way. The fact is that every current top tier in their primes or peak in strength that's going to be showcased in One Piece in this current timeline that we're in won't all be advanced Conquerors Haki users, but will have a case for being stronger than many we've seen in the previous gen or even this current gen as well. A pretty blatant example would be when Blackbeard surpasses Shanks, and trust me, it won't be because he has better Haki. Lastly, the power of science is also something new to this generation as well. Once again, take Sanji as an example. He's able to obtain blue flames due to science. Fire so hot that hasn't even been replicated from the Devil Fruit itself. top tier speed that also hasn't been replicated in One Piece. If that triggered you, see my previous video and what I mean by that. It is also a great means of power that is being built up in Egghead Island. And the greatest scientist to ever exist, Dr. Vegapunk. He was also able to create the Seraphim to replace the entire warlord system. These warlords consisted of very strong fighters, like Pirate Empress Boa Hancock, Crocodile, and the most powerful out of all of them, Dracula Mihawk, the man who's comparable to Shanks. Vegapunk and the world government believe that this is more than capable of replacing them even when they have a man of that caliber. And Vegapunk's reasoning for that is because they are the most powerful beings in the history of the sea. Alright guys, that's it. Let me know what y'all thought of the video. Let me know if I'm a retarded Sanji fan that just copes for a living. I love y'all. Make sure you guys take the time to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.